We're at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to operations with radical expressions. And we are looking at 1.1 here. Okay, so some notation that we haven't really talked about, but I'm going to talk about it now. And we'll just give something in here like this. Okay, so this number right here is known as the index. This is known as the index. Okay. And of course, this is the radical symbol, we should all be familiar with. And then what's underneath the radical here, this is called the radicand. The radicand. Alright, that's called the radicand. Now what's important is that the definition of like radicals. Okay, like radicals. Alright, are radicals that have the same index, and the same radicand. Okay, so that's going to be important here. Okay, like radicals, radicals that have the same index number and the same radicand, Okay, so here's some examples. We have the square root of 5 plus 3 times the square root of 5, and we want to simplify this expression. And so what we're going to end up doing here is, is taking a look at their index number and their radicand. And as you can see here, nothing is written here, but it's assumed to be a 2. Okay, when nothing's written, there's assumed to be a 2, so its index number is 2. And it, of course, has the same radicand. And so we could consider this to be a 1 out front, and 1 plus 3 is 4 times the square root of 5. 3 times 4 times the square root of 5. Okay, now let's take a look at another one here. What if we had 4 times the square root of 6 plus 7 times the square root of 6? Now here's another way of looking at this. We can factor out the square root of 6 and we'll be left with 4 plus 7, and of course 4 plus 7 is what is 4 plus 7? Well, I lost my mind. 11. So that would be 11 times the square root of 6. Okay, let's take a look at another one here with a variable involved. We have 7 times the square root of x plus 3 times the square root of x minus 2 times the square root of the square root of something. Oh, the square root of x. Alright. Okay, so since they all both have the same index number and the same radicand, then what we would do, just add their coefficients, and so we end up with 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 minus 2 is 8. So 8 times the square root of x. And of course, we could also look at it like by factoring out the square root of x. You got 7 plus 3 minus 2, and of course we'd end up getting 8 there. Okay. Alright, so that's a start anyway for this new section, and we're over here at gotomath.com, and I'll see you in the next problem.